We're getting more viewers. Hi, everyone. Everyone's saying hello, 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 welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday night. Hope you had dinner ready, or maybe you're going to have dinner. Hope you had a great weekend. Again, guys, we're going to touch on meal planning, what foods I have in my fridge, what foods I always keep in my fridge, what foods are going to help you prevent or reverse your diabetes. Again, my name is James Marin. I'm a holistic registered dietitian, environmental nutritionist. And I basically run my own private practice. I see diabetic patients all the time. I want to share with you as we first start and as we get some questions going. And remember, guys, comment below with any questions you have. I want you to hear about a patient success I recently had. This guy came in originally with a 7.2 A1C, and in 3 months we got him down to 6.8 A1C. He lost about 13 pounds. Feeling good. His joint pain is gone. He really wants to eliminate medication, which is totally possible. And so really, really cool stuff. He's really excited. 6.8, he still is like, I want to get it better. I want to still improve, but 6.8 is great. And again, if we can just get him down below 6.6 A1C, he's going to be well off. So guys, I'm not seeing any questions. I'm seeing highs. Hi, everyone. Thumbs up if you're feeling good. Hopefully everyone's feeling good. And if you're not, hopefully this is going to help you feel better. Let's get right into it, guys. I want to talk about meal prep. If you are new to meal prep, or if you're like me and you already meal prep, usually I do it Sundays. Okay, Sundays are the days to meal prep and get things in the fridge so it's easy to pull out if I'm going to work, or for my daughter who's 3 years old and she's like, Daddy, I'm hungry, or we're on the go. So again, it's about real life. It's about, easy foods you can use, when you're on the go, and you don't have to always feel like you're cooking from scratch, right? Not all of us have the time to cook 3-course or 5-course meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'm going to start with the number one thing I always have in my fridge. Okay, so the number one thing that's always in my fridge, and usually I make a big batch of this, whether it's on a Sunday or during the week, is our beans. Okay, guys, how many of you guys like beans? Let me see. Give me a thumbs up, or give me a smiley or something like that. We have our first question too, so I'm gonna get to that. Let me finish this, and I'll name 2 more foods that I like. But beans, guys. So whether it's chickpeas, whether it's pinto beans, whether it's black beans, I always make a big thing of beans, and we keep that in the fridge during the week. And what's really cool, like chickpeas are one of my favorites. I recently did chickpeas because with chickpeas, I then can keep them whole, or with chickpeas, I make a fresh hummus, or I could do Indian, or I can make a chickpea salad, or I can just slice up cucumbers and tomatoes with like some lemon and some, seasoning, and make a yummy, nice, cool, especially on the hot days, chickpea meal. So you can do so many things with chickpeas, guys. Chickpeas, you can even make them into like desserts, or, you could do anything. So definitely some sort of bean is what I meal prep with, is what we basically cook in a big batch so you can have it throughout the week. Okay, guys, we have a question. What is the key to diabetes? Low fat and plant-based, or can I still eat meat? Very great question, because if you guys have been following our page, in my experience as a holistic registered dietitian and from a huge body of the research, a whole food plant-based low-fat diet is really, really key. And if you guys remember from the very first meetup, and even some of the videos that I post, the root cause of diabetes is not necessarily sugar. Okay, so I have this new analogy. I don't know if you guys have heard this analogy, but I have a fairly new analogy, which is that you're at the DMV. Okay, guys, diabetes is like you're at the DMV and the line is just out the building. Okay, so is it the people going to the DMV that's causing the problem, or is it the window or the staff that maybe there's just not enough, right? There's just not enough windows. There's just not enough employees to help all the people. So which one is it? That's kind of like diabetes, guys. There's a traffic jam in your cell with insulin, and the people in the DMV analogy are the sugar. So eating a cupcake, eating a cookie, eating a big bowl of white rice is like you're adding more people to the DMV when there's not enough windows or employees there at the DMV to begin with. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So what you're dealing with is is there's too much fat in the cell, and insulin can't open the cell and help the customers, aka your blood sugar. Okay, so with a whole food plant-based diet that is low fat, and again, it's low in fat, that is processed fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, trans fat. That's mainly going to come from animal products, but processed fat can also be found in lots of dressings, lots of, oh my gosh, you name it, baked goods or crackers or cookies or chips or popcorn, right? So you're going to get tons of oils, you know, and again, it could even be healthy oil, right, guys? So it could even be olive oil, coconut oil, you know, avocado oil. But do you want to get a healthy oil and drench your food in a healthy oil? Not really, guys, okay? You don't want to go crazy even with a healthy oil, because instead of the avocado oil, what I want you to go crazy with is avocado. Instead of olive oil, I want you to go crazy with olives, okay? Chop up olives, add it to your yummy foods or yummy dishes that you're making, okay, guys? So the idea is I'd rather you choose more of the whole foods than any processed food, and that is including oils, you know, and fats, okay? So this idea is that the whole plant food is going to help get the fat out of your cell. The whole plant food is going to give you fiber to protect your gut, because I'm sure statistically speaking, out of all of you watching, you know, majority of you are also having gut issues. You're having bloating, maybe gas, diarrhea, constipation. You're maybe having gastritis or GERD, right? So reflux, right? So you're having these issues, and it's definitely related to diabetes, okay? It's all connected, okay? I'm gonna kind of, so hopefully I answered your question. Let's see, I'm looking at some other questions. And here next month, I have to go get a diabetic test done. How is it done? I think, so someone's asking, I think about diabetic testing. So to speak on testing, guys, so with my patients, usually before I see them, they've done a full panel. So I'd like for you to all get a full panel done of your lipids, of all your kind of your hemoglobin, your fasting blood glucose, your A1C. So the doctors know like a basic metabolic panel, or CBC. You know, these are basic panels that are done, and they're done before you see your dietitian or you see me, and it gives me a baseline of what we're working with, okay? Usually in every 3 months, you can get another lab panel done, okay? Especially to include your A1C, because you get new red blood cells every 3 months. So that's where we can see a brand new A1C and see if we're making progress with all these healthy changes that you're making, okay? Someone said, my issue is I'm diabetic with IBS and diverticulitis. Plant-based and beans are really tough. That is a great question. So if you have IBS or IBD or diverticulosis, which comes before diverticulitis, you definitely want to work with the dietitian. If you want, you can message us. Again, my website, guys, marythealth.com. You can message me through there if you'd like. So with that, guys, you have to be careful, because, again, if you have IBS or IBD or anything like that, plant-based foods, so high fiber foods, might exacerbate it, okay? But again, that's not to say that fiber is the cause of IBS or IBD, okay, guys? Now, fiber is not the cause. It's usually that you've had a lack of fiber, which has given rise to this reflux and IBS and IBD and all these diseases, gastritis, diverticulosis, diverticulitis, et cetera, okay, guys? So the thing is, so I give this analogy so you understand, okay? What you're going to do now with more plant foods is remodel the inside of your body. You're basically remodeling your gut. And if any of you have ever remodeled your home or a room or just a bathroom, it gets messy, okay? It's uncomfortable, but at the end of it, if you stick with it, at the end of it, you're going to be like, oh man, I'm so glad I remodeled. It looks great. So you got to maybe start slow, okay? I'm not saying like, hey, if you've been eating lots of meat and cheese and really processed food, tomorrow you're going to eat tons of kale and beans and quinoa. You're probably going to get really bloated and gassy and have a rough time, especially if you have any type of GI disease, okay, guys? So really, it's starting out slow. It's maybe adding some cooked veggies, some cooked root vegetables like beets, some cooked, sweet potato, some cooked carrots, even some sauteed spinach where it's nice and cooked down. So you're not going to do a big raw kale salad. You're going to do some sauteed vegetables so it's easier on your gut, okay? So hopefully that answered that question. Again, guys, if you have more questions, put them in. I'm going to keep reading. Is weight loss a big key to improving your diabetes? And someone says, I've been overweight my whole life. If I take the weight off, will I see results? Yeah, guys. Again, analogy for this or anything you're dealing with is that it's like a tree or it's like a big weed, okay, growing in your yard. The branches are your disease. So you're obese, you have diabetes, you have gastritis, you have migraines, you have joint pain. They're all branches of the same tree. Now, what we do in the Western culture is we say, okay, well, for this branch, you're going to take this pill. For this branch, you take that pill. For this other branch, you take another pill. But we never ask, well, what's at the root? Why did this weed even grow in my body? Why is this tree that I don't want growing in my yard, okay? So what I say is if we focus on the root, okay, if we focus on the root, which is going to be a lot of times inflammation, but it's in different forms, then we get rid of the whole tree. And so the bonus of improving your diabetes and reversing your symptoms is you lose weight. I'd probably say my patients who do reverse their diabetes and you know, really improve their labs, drop on average about 14 pounds, okay? And it depends on how obese, or if you're morbidly obese, you can definitely drop more weight. I've had a patient who is going on 220 pounds that she's dropped. And again, this isn't over the course of 2 months. This has been over the course of 2 years working with her, but that's still impressive, guys, like over 200 pounds in 2 years. So it can vary, 14 pounds, maybe it's even 10 pounds if you're not really overweight, or it can be 200 plus pounds, okay? So yeah, usually they are connected. If you're overweight, you're gonna lose weight and you're gonna improve with your labs and improve with your symptoms. Someone said, my husband dropped 100 pounds and reversed his diabetes. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, Michelle. So Michelle commented that. That is great. Congratulations, guys. It can be done. You can definitely beat your diabetes. That's why this is the name of our program here. Let's see. So fruit sugar and white sugar are real different. Fruit sugar is good for diabetics, right? Yes. I mean, in general, yes. What I do want to say is if you're highly inflamed and you're having lots of issues, I'm not going to say eat a big fruit salad for your meal, okay? So if you're really struggling, if you're having neuropathy and nephropathy, if you're really inflamed and you're having a bunch of other symptoms like coronary artery disease, and you get the picture, I'm not going to say go crazy with a big watermelon and eat it. But if you're like, you know, your A1C is 6.8 or your A1C is even 8, but you're not really showing any symptoms, you're not really having anything else wrong, incorporate fruit, guys. You want to have fruit with your meals. You want to have fruit for dessert. You want to have fruit when you're craving something sweet, then have fruit. That's going to be great, okay? So definitely have fruit. And the thing with fruit, you're probably thinking, well, why? My doctor said, watch out for fruit. You know, it's summer, so there's tons of watermelon and honeydew melon. I shouldn't eat that. That's not true, guys, because you're not just getting fructose. Yes, there's fructose in fruit, but you're not just getting fructose in the fruit, okay, guys? The fruit is going to have fructose. It's going to have pectin and all kinds of different fiber, phytonutrients, protein, vitamins, minerals. It's this wonderful package of nutrition, and when you eat it, your body has to break it all down. That's very different than just having pure fructose or cane sugar or any type of processed sugar, and then that is just pure sugar. That's a punch in your face, literally, guys. That's, you eat that sugar, it stays sugar, and it spikes your blood sugar. That's very different from having a complex fruit, okay? So let's see, what do you think of apple cider vinegar and losing your BS? So I guess, and dropping your blood sugar. So with apple cider vinegar, so there have been studies that show that ingesting apple cider vinegar after a high sugar meal helps, okay, guys, to lower blood sugar. And what they're thinking, the mode of action with that is a lot of you having gut issues as well, a lot of you having GERD. It's not so much that you're having reflux because you have too much stomach acid, it's because you have too little stomach acid. So when you take apple cider vinegar, it helps with the acid, it helps to digest your food, which means you absorb your food better, which means your GI system functions better. So the apple cider vinegar, and so it basically just helps you absorb and digest your food better. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. Let's see, what is a fruit sugar? So someone asked, well, what is a fruit sugar? So when I say fruit sugar, I'm saying any type of fruit. So whether it's kiwi or it's apple or it's orange or it's pineapple, the idea is though you're going to eat it whole. Okay, so you're not having pineapple juice, you're having a pineapple. You're not having mango juice, you're having a mango. Okay, so it's very different. And it's even more different in you're not having mango candy, you're having the whole mango. You're not having apple flavored lollipop, you're having an apple. So that's very different. So fruit sugar is the sugar found in whole fruit that you can eat. Okay, Michelle, this one, let's see. So a lot of inflammation. So someone's saying there, Michelle is saying she has a lot of inflammation, arthritis, struggling to lose weight. Also try to deal with the dawn phenomenon. Okay, for those of you not familiar with the dawn phenomenon, that's when your blood sugar looks fairly well before bed, and then in the morning when you check, it's really high. Okay, so that is very related to inflammation. But she has lowered her A1C. Okay, so let me just hit on the first part. So if you are struggling with inflammation and arthritis, this makes it very hard to exercise, okay? There have been a number of studies that show that if you're having trouble with your joints and you really can't exercise, if you can find a sauna, or if it's as hot as it is here in Southern California, you could just sit outside. As long as you sweat for about 10 to 15 minutes every day, you activate something called heat shock proteins. You guys can Google this. Heat shock proteins, they're amazing, okay? They increase your longevity. They really have this beneficial effect in your body. They help you detox. So if you're having trouble exercising, I would say double down on nutrition. And if you can, just try and sweat in a sauna where all you have to do is sit down in a hot place. So if you want, go outside in the 85 or 90 degree weather with a long sleeve shirt and pants and just sweat, or go in the sauna at your gym or wherever, the YMCA, and just sweat for about 10, 15 minutes. Try and do that at least once every day, okay? That's gonna help detox, that's gonna help with your inflammation, on top of the fact that you're changing things in your nutrition, okay? How long, so I'm trying to go in order with both. How long would it take to see results if you have been running high numbers when you start a plant-based diet? Okay, so guys, I'll go with the studies first. So in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, there was a study where they put men who were type 2 diabetic, they put them on what is essentially a whole food, plant-based, low-fat diet. And in 2 weeks, about 65% of the subjects got off their insulin in 2 freaking weeks. Now, this was going really hardcore. They completely changed their diet. Again, this was under medical supervision, and there were dietitians and doctors. Again, if you have other things like diverticulitis and gastritis, I probably wouldn't recommend this. Something more realistic, where I've had patients who have GI issues and they have type 2 diabetes, was something like 3 months. You'll see drastic results in 3 months, because it's probably sooner, but in 3 months you're taking another lab panel. So in 3 months we actually see, wow, your A1C went down tremendously. And so usually the rule of thumb is 3 months you'll see results, definitely. Someone said, oh, really? So this whole time, 2 doctors have told me eating watermelon and apples and pineapple isn't good for diabetics. Okay, guys. So yeah, I would say majority of you out there, it's fine to eat fruit, guys. Again, it's a very small percentage. I would say be careful, but majority of you guys eat fruit. Again, you want to eat a well-balanced meal. You want to eat things with, pretty much all plant foods, but, you can add in some meat. I think we've discussed in other videos about meat. You want to get higher quality meat, and meat is the sideshow. Whole plants are the star of the dish, and then definitely add fruit to that, whether it's mango, watermelon, pineapple. I know a lot of you are like, well, what about the glycemic index? Okay, guys, the glycemic index is just one indicator. But if you have a pineapple that has bromelain and all these phytonutrients and pectins, the glycemic index doesn't measure that. The glycemic index doesn't measure the benefits of all these, polyphenol complexes found in fruits. Okay, guys, it's only measuring the sugar. So yeah, sugar's in there, but you're getting a far bigger benefit with all the other fibers and phytonutrients and antioxidants that the glycemic index doesn't measure. So when you lower your inflammation, your blood sugar isn't going to spike and do all this damage and do all this crazy stuff. Okay, guys, and keep in mind, like I said, for those of you maybe just joining, with fruit, you're not just getting sugar, you're getting a full, complete array of protein and fiber and phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals, okay? All right, so I hope I answered that question. Let's see. So someone said, hey, I'm having a lot of trouble getting my sugar down past 290. Subscribe to the Beat Your Diabetes channel on YouTube. Make sure you're following us on Facebook. We have a lot of great information to help you guys get your numbers down. You know, something I would say right now, if your numbers are on 290, guys, so if you're having high fasting numbers, you definitely want to eat more fiber. So the key is going to be fiber. And I'm not just saying take a fiber supplement, but eat more fiber-rich foods. Number 2, exercise if you can. That's a very, very quick way to get your blood sugar down. So if you're sitting at a desk all day, if you're typing on the computer all day, and you're not moving around, that is going to be very, very rough on your endocrine system. It's going to be rough on your whole body generally, and your blood sugar is not going to come down, okay? So keep following. Those are two things I would say to get your blood sugar down quickly. What do you think about chromium supplement to help with blood sugar and cinnamon pills? So does anyone take chromium and cinnamon pills? If you do, so someone had a question about that. So chromium, so usually you find chromium and chromium picolinate. Again, guys, what I always say is with supplements, you don't want to micromanage your body. It's not going to work. What's going to end up happening is if you're taking chromium and cinnamon, and then you're going to take echinacea, then you're going to take, what else is up there? Glutathione and B12 and vitamin C. And so you're taking all this stuff that's found in food. So a great example, something high in chromium are nuts and seeds. So if you had a wonderful oatmeal, and guys, you should check out on YouTube our latest video. I did a day of what I ate in a fairly typical day. My oatmeal has pumpkin seeds and almonds and cashews, and I put cinnamon, and I put dates, and so dates are actually one of the most minerally rich, you know, fruits. So there's tons of trace minerals in there, like chromium. And so what I would say is focus on eating the foods that are going to have all these supplements in them, okay? The food has this stuff if you choose quality food and take the time to eat this food. And guys, the oatmeal, I made it took me like 5 to 10 minutes or something like that, not even that. Okay, so you're going to get your chromium and cinnamon if you eat, you know, nuts and seeds and oatmeal with cinnamon. That's great, and it's going to be way less money, guys. These pills can add up so quickly. Someone said let's go to over here at Facebook. What is the best time to exercise when dealing with the dawn phenomenon? Okay, so if you're dealing with the dawn phenomenon, what that essentially means is your liver is working really well. Okay, guys. So if you're dropping your blood sugar at night, so your liver's kicking in and making endogenous glucose. So it's called gluconeogenesis. And so when your liver does that, that's actually a good sign. Your body's healthy. Your body wants to work. It's usually just kind of get out of the way. And I think I have a really good liver because I wake up in the morning and I exercise without eating. I feel really good with doing that. So I would recommend, you know, I wouldn't recommend, okay, I don't know all your background, but that's something I do. I would say if you're having the dawn phenomenon, exercise in the morning because your blood sugar is higher. So that's a great time to get rid of that excess blood sugar with exercise. You can do it on empty stomach. You don't have to. Just, you know, use your glucometer. Be very careful and work with your dietitian or work with me if you want or whoever to monitor that closely. Okay. Let's see. I just wanted to eat fruits and vegetables and a little meat and oatmeal. Is that a good lifestyle choice? So, you know, I would have to know more of your background. I would have to know other factors, but I mean, in general, fruits and vegetables should make up a majority of your diet, guys. And when I say vegetables, I know when I say vegetables or when I hear vegetables, I think of like broccoli and lettuce. I don't know why. That's the first thing that pops into my head. But when I say vegetable, guys, I mean like all the leafy greens, all, you know, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. You could do sweet potato, red potato, purple potato. You could do beets and chard and rhubarb. And, you know, there's so many vegetables. I don't think we actually fathom how many vegetables are out there. And even with fruits, guys, I mean, there's so much variety of fruit out there. I don't even think we fully comprehend it. So yeah, I mean, if you were going to eat, so this person said, for those of you just joining, they want to eat fruit and vegetables and a little meat and oatmeal. So I mean, yeah, if you're going to eat tons of fruits and vegetables and do a variety, you're going to be really good. And then if you add a little meat, yeah. So an example of that, I just did a video, guys. Go check it out on the YouTube of what I eat. But you see a lot of it is vegetables. And I really don't do meat, but I did a little beans on there. Great. But if you want, do a little shredded chicken. Okay, if you're still into chicken, do a little shredded chicken. It's not going to mess you up if a majority of your bowl, your plate are vegetables. So that's perfectly fine. Are bananas good to eat before going to sleep to balance your sugar levels? This is a whole nother, I think we'll probably have to get into that next time. We're winding down a little bit, but I want to still, what I do is I take your questions and we're going to roll them over to next time. But I'll touch on that if we can in the time we have left. So bananas, guys, you think bananas before bed? I would probably say no. I would say in general, you don't want to eat before bed. And I can go into the science a little bit more. But generally, guys, you want to stop eating 2 hours before you go to bed. It's this thing where, I mean, imagine, or what I want to say is you want to give your metabolism and your body a rest. You don't want to eat right before you go to bed. Recent studies showed that as melatonin increases, so melatonin is the hormone that helps you sleep, it actually can inhibit your insulin. So this idea is your body's getting ready to sleep. Why is it going to boost your insulin? You're not eating. It wants to go to sleep. This also gets into the area that of like, you know, are your screens still on? Are you watching TV? Are you looking at your phone? Are you looking at your laptop? And that screen's going to also inhibit your melatonin. So then you get hungry. So you're going this back and forth. So, you know, if you're having, and then this gets into the fact of if you're having sleep issues. So this is a whole big thing. But in general, I would say do not eat right before bed. Okay, even if it's something healthy. I mean, try and eat throughout the day. And as you wind down for bedtime, if your bedtime's at 10, I would say stop eating about 8:30. If your bedtime's midnight, stop eating about 9:30, 10, you know. But generally, I would say try and get to bed at a decent, reasonable hour. Okay, that's going to help you out a lot. Let's see what else here. What is your name? So for those of you that missed my name, great question. My name is James Marin. I'm a holistic registered dietitian, environmental nutritionist. You can learn more about me at married2health.com. That's just like it's spelled, married2health.com. What would you recommend to eat at night to help lower sugar spikes? So if you're having blood sugar spikes, it's not really about what you eat at night. It's thinking about what you ate throughout the day. Okay, guys. So if you're spiking late at night, you can probably guess that it's, well, stress is a big thing. So if you've had a lot of stress at work or with the family, that's going to spike you up too. And it can have a delayed effect. Number two is even what you ate. Okay, guys. So if you had a high fatty meal throughout the day, that could spike you up at night. Or, I mean, if you snacked on a cookie a couple hours ago, that's going to spike you up. So it's really not what can I eat to lower it. It's more of like, what can I do tomorrow so it doesn't spike up again? And that is, again, focus on the fiber. Going back to what another question or someone had earlier was about apple cider vinegar. If you want, you could do a little bit of apple cider vinegar. That might help. Some studies show that apple cider vinegar does help to lower blood sugar. Okay. How about drinking water? Or let's see, someone else over here. Let's switch it up. Can I do calcium supplements? So calcium supplements, guys. So there, I just actually read a review of this in a really good journal about calcium supplements. You can take calcium supplements. Calcium citrate is one of the better forms of calcium. And there was some concern about, oh, calcium does calcification in your arteries. You don't want to take too much calcium. You know, ideally, you want to get your calcium from foods. So you can get all the calcium you need in a day. So adult men and women, roughly, and you know, a pretty wide age group, a majority of people need about 1,000 milligrams of calcium a day. If you ate 2 cups of beans, about 2 cups of some type of green, you've met your calcium requirements in the day, roughly. Okay. that's it, guys. That's all you need. So you don't really need a calcium supplement. Again, I would say consult with a dietitian or with me or whoever you want. But if you're having digestive issues, that might change a little bit because you're not absorbing calcium correctly. So first we have to correct your digestive and your absorption issues, and then we correct your eating, okay? Or it's kind of this multifaceted approach, but we got to make sure you're absorbing what you're eating, because then, yeah, you might have some issues with calcium, and that's where supplements come in handy. So hopefully that makes sense. Someone's asking where my office is located. Guys, I do online. I'm located in Southern California, but I do online visits as well. You can go to marytalk.com if you're looking to do a one-on-one visit. We're going to have some really cool stuff for you through the Diabetes Council and Beat Your Diabetes. Make sure you subscribe to Beat Your Diabetes on YouTube. Again, my website is married2health.com, and we do online visits. I talk to people in Dubai and Brazil and everywhere around the world. So, yeah. Again, guys, thank you so much. We are out of time. That went really, really fast. So I'm going to look at the questions we still have. We're going to roll them over to next time. On our Facebook, you can make sure you RSVP for our next live Q&A. Do not miss it. Invite your friends and family. I'll put the link for it down below. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful week and be very healthy. Thanks, guys.